this whole concept of, you know, drug, sex, and rock and roll.
Well, it is, you know. It's been, but we're getting older.
Yeah, we sure are. Let me take this break. We'll be right back, folks. Vincent, the great young hopeful. And here he is, sitting on our stage today. Jan, before I get back to you, I have a quick question for Candace. Yes.
Hi, Candace. I was wondering if the reason you and Tommy Lee broke up was because of Heather Locklear? Was she cheating with him?
No, actually, it was about 4 months after we got a divorce, he started dating her.
Jan, Michael, Vincent, how many times have you been arrested that you can recall?
That I can recall? When they put handcuffs on me and I had to go? I'd say 6 times.
Have you served any time?
Well, I did 73 hours and 73 hours.
Was that for allegedly beating Joanna? Your wife?
No.
Was it a drug-related rap?
Yeah. I got busted for 176 pounds of pot.
It doesn't seem... Give me a break.
And guess what? Guess what? I don't smoke pot. I just like to grow it.
I was going to say that pot doesn't seem to be your problem. It seems that cocaine has historically been what ails you.
Oh, in the years past, yeah.
Any idea how much
It's been quite a while. It's been quite a while since
Is
I've done
booze
anything.
then the basic thing that's haunting you right now?
Booze is the hardest thing for me to stay away from.
Well, tell us about that, Jen. Is it the pressure of the job? I mean, why are you susceptible to it for some reason? Tell us what's grabbing
look,
you.
Look, alcoholism is a strange addiction. I mean, my father told me about it when I was about 8 years old. And I never ever thought I'd become an addictive personality. But I am. And I have to deal with it.
Hasn't it had a terrible impact on your career?
Oh, yes.
Comment, Mike Walker?
Well, you know, here's a man who has been under tremendous strains, there's no doubt about it. There's no doubt also that there's a lot of pressure on celebrities. He's been in the spotlight. He knows how that works. On the other hand, I think he would admit that over the years he's had a lot of very tremendous press, too. And I think what he just said to us is that he's an addicted personality. This man's suffering from a disease. I mean, it's not something he did because he's a star or because he's
We spoke to Lisa, who you claim now not to really be in love with. Lisa told us that she's afraid that you're going to kill yourself.
I don't think so.
I mean, not intentionally, just by
No, I think Lisa's a little sketchy.
Are you in therapy? Are you seeing anybody?
I've been in therapy.
I mean, are you currently in therapy?
Why would I be in therapy? I'm not doing anything.
Are you drinking? I mean, are you clean right now?
Yeah,
100% sober?
100%.
If you could say to your wife, win her back, is there anything you could say to her on national television to win her back?
I'd die to have her back.
You want to make a plea to her right here?
Joanne, I've known you 17 years. I know I've done wrong things. And I'd lay down anything to have you back.
We'll be right back. Jan, Michael, Vincent, and Candace Starr. Candace, Tommy Lee's first wife. Oh, Jan is putting the moves on Candace there. Janet Charlton, a woman in the back, asked if they trying to kill off Heather Locklear on Melrose Place.
Oh, no, they're not going to kill her off. She's way too important for that show.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
Believe me, she's going to recover. She'll be back tougher than ever.
All right.
Hi, this question is for Candace. Yes. You said that Heather Locklear wasn't the reason why you broke up with Tommy Lee. What was?
We had some good times and some bad times, but near the end of our relationship, it got quite abusive.
I still want to know what attracts women to this guy. I got to know that before the show's over.
All right, but I'll ask her that, but you said it got quite abusive. You mean physically abusive?
Aside from money, right.
Yeah.
He was whacking you around.
The abuse in the relationship was both of us.
There you go. So it always takes two to tango?
Yes, it does.
Also, to be fair, it was
There's
never...
the fact of the matter.
Somebody just said that Heather said that Tommy Lee had beat her. It wasn't beat, but it was slamming around and pushing up against walls, that kind of thing.
Bruises are bruises, you know?
I don't know of any
Still come in
bruises.
droves.
But
Let me go quickly through our list. We promised Hollywood Under Arrest, stars behind bars. I just want to quickly go through the list and get one comment on each one. Anna Nicole Smith. Who wants to comment on her? When was she busted?
Drug overdose, rushed to the hospital. Then, of course, there was the altercation with the security guard, which was supposed to be a beating, and it turned out he claimed that they were having an affair. She's had a very troubled time. And then, of course, her billionaire hubby withdrew part of his support from her. She's later gotten some of it back. So she's in...
And he had a check that bounced, too.
Yeah, I had a big check, bought almost $1 million worth of jewelry in the check.
Janet, do you know
Well,
Victoria Sellers?
If I were, yes, I do, but if I were Anna Nicole Smith's husband, I would keep an eye on those bodyguards, because she hires the real good-looking, voluptuous guys, and they're with her around the clock.
That's why he cut her off, Janet.
Okay, quick, Victoria Sellers. Let's go. What do you know about her?
Well, I mean, I saw her not long before she was sentenced. She was selling her clothes on Melrose Avenue, looking very pathetic and, very worried about what's going to happen to her. She's been a troubled kid
Now, that's
ever
Peter
since she was a
Sellers'
teen.
daughter.
Yes,
Oh,
Peter
sad.
Sellers and Britt Eklund's daughter, don't forget. And it was apparently a big scandal because Britt Eklund was out dancing the same day, the night of the day her daughter was sentenced.
Oh, gross.
And people felt she was very hard-hearted, but actually she says she didn't realize it was happening at the same time.
Was Liz Taylor ever arrested? No.
Well, no, she's never been arrested, but you remember there was the whole hoorah about the doctors giving her prescription drugs, over-prescribing her. She's had a prescription drug.
And what happened to those doctors?
The doctors
Whatever happened?
almost-
That's still...
Don Crutchfield, what happened to the doctor?
The doctors almost got arrested. There was
That's
a big
right.
investigation behind that, believe me, and I'm privy to some of that information.
Now,
But,
more. Roger Clinton, Ellen.
He's a great guy. He's been in several times on our radio show, and he's a fantastic guest. But he admitted today that he got in a fight with his brother for the first time in a long time.
Not a physical fight with the President of the United States.
No, not a physical fight, but really kind of an emotional tug of war. He didn't really say exactly what it was about, but he did say that, Bill Clinton keeps forgetting that Roger isn't his little baby Bubba anymore, and that, he's got a child of his own now. And so he just basically said, he finds sometimes that the president is trying to tell him what to do and how to live his life, and he just was tired of it, so they got in a big argument. And
I don't know. First of all, to tell the story when your brother happens to be the President of the United States in a very tough re-election campaign.
It's interesting how he's changed his whole tune, Roger. In the beginning, he says, "Oh, don't you say anything bad about my brother." Now it's suddenly, "Oh, he doesn't pay attention to me anymore."
Right. Well, Roger did say, he said he's glad he's on the West Coast because he couldn't imagine living any closer.
I just want to read out the list because we're not going to have time to get in depth. All right, Johnny Depp, Shannon Doherty, Drew Barrymore.
Well, Drew Barrymore is just constantly being associated with Courtney Love, who allegedly just came out of rehab. There's suspicion about that. And, she complains constantly about the tabloids ruining her life. The other night at the Lifebeat party, she was asking every photographer, "Do you shoot for the National Enquirer? Do you shoot for the Star? If you do, I'm going to get you. I want to get you."
Well, you remember right here on the stage.
Jan, last comment, then I'll take commercial.
Does anybody know E.L. Woody?
Yes, absolutely.
Who's he?
He's a guy who has some of the best pictures of the stars that you have ever seen in your life.
We all know him.
Well, he used to be somebody that lived in my house.
Really? Oh, he used to live in your house?
Yes, he did.
Really?
Interesting, yeah.
Man, oh man.
He's got pictures, so
Okay,
no, we'll be right back.
Can I take a call?
First love, and I still love him, and I will always love him. So for me to even accept he was married again, when I see him or when we're together, it just seems like we've always been together.
There you go. What is the attraction?
Give me this right
This guy's got tattoos on his neck with other girls' names. And
He's actually a lot of fun. He's like a little kid, when you're out together and stuff. You can be yourself with him. He's a great lover.
Damn. He must be.
He's got to be. He's got to be.
Still have an affair with him today, even though he's married to Pamela Anderson.
I think I'm pretty much over it after the last one.
Your question?
No, no.
Yes.
This is for anybody up there. I would like to know, how is Paula Barbieri career going since she's dealing with O.J. Simpson?
She just played a vampire in a film just the other night, so her career's going okay.
Not only that,
Bloodsucker,
but Geraldo, she did 3 fashion shows in Paris, and she's not in the habit of doing that. I know she did Jean-Paul Gaultier, among others. So that's a very big score for a model.
Right.
This is for Jan.
Jan?
If you didn't beat your wife, why would she come out and say that you did? Why would she lie about something like that?
You know what I think basically it is? She didn't lie about anything. I didn't beat her, not physically. Because if I hit a woman, basically, probably finish him. But I have a filthy mouth, and I cuss, and I you know, I don't know why. I used to be really shy. And I come back and I swear and I cuss and I'm verbally abusive. And that's the truth about that matter.
You know, Jan, this is something we've never done before. We have an aftercare program. We do a lot of programs about people who have some kind of thing wrong in their life, and we offer them, free of any charge to them, access to some of the best facilities in the whole country. We would be honored if you'd let us sponsor you someplace.
Sponsor me where?
I don't know. You tell. Do you want to go to like a Betty Ford or a Meadows or a Fair Oaks?
Oh, I don't think so.
Really?
I don't need to.
I love him.
You promise?
Geraldo, what I'd rather do is go sailing and see out at Yellowbanks.
Okay, buddy. Okay. That's our old days in Malibu, California, USA. We'll be right back. Celebrity news. I was in the Hotel Bel Air. I saw Robert De Niro huddled with Whoopi Goldberg, obviously discussing some project.
That was probably when he was headed out to L.A. I'm not sure if it was the same trip, but anyways, he was in the plane at Newark, and he got in and he started to use his cellular phone while the plane's still on the ground. Well, that is a no-no. And the stewardess came up and said, look, you can't do that. And he kind of blew her off. And she said, look, I mean, you could go to jail for this. He got so angry, he went into the John, slammed the door, and continued using the cell phone. So the steward comes up, and he bangs on the door, and he says, if you don't stop using the cell phone and come out of there, we'll have you removed from the plane in handcuffs.
That's
right?
so overreacting.
Now, so he comes out of the thing, and De Niro comes out of the thing. Now, somebody tried to tell me that while he was sitting there, fuming in his seat, very angry, he was saying, you talking to me?
Brad Pitt, AJ.
I'm sorry.
Split it.
Well, Brad Pitt has had an offer of $1 million to do a calendar, okay? And $1 million, and he wants some time to think it over. You know what he has to do for this calendar? Absolutely nothing. All they want to do is use 12 pictures from Legends of the Fall,
Brad,
and he's thinking it over.
do the calendar.
No, exactly. I mean, the guy's got... actually, his poster outsold the famous poster that Farrah Fawcett had. We all had in our walls.
I remember that, yeah.
I was faithful to that
Mike
poster
went
for
steady
20
for that
years.
3 years.
It outsold the poster, so now the calendar makes a lot of sense.
Janet Jackson, Jesse Nash.
Well, I'll tell you, we've been talking about all the negative aspects. Janet Jackson's got a positive story. She revealed in an interview that she's been offered cocaine, that her friends have tried to coerce her to smoke pot in a van. She said they wanted her to smoke out of this bong, which she said looks like a huge pencil holder to her. See, at least she's one who has the discipline enough to say, hey, I don't need this. I'm not going to die if I don't do this. And also Dave Stewart. Dave Stewart just spent...
Dave Stewart of the Athletics?
Eurythmics.
Oh, that.
Annie Lennox,
Dave
Stewart?
The pitcher.
No, Dave Stewart just spent 6 weeks in a psychiatric hospital.
This is Annie Lennox's husband?
No, Annie Lennox's other half from the Eurythmics.
Right.
For 10 years, they were the Eurythmics. He spent 6 weeks in a psychiatric hospital, Bowden House in England. And he went in right before he did his new album, Greetings from the Gutter. He went through primal scream therapy. He actually talked about, now he's okay, but he actually had feelings that he thought he might have been gay. He went through a very bad situation.
Tom Cruise, Ellen Kay.
Tom Cruise, well, I had it on pretty good authority that a friend of mine who told me that he got into Scientology and then met Tom Cruise, as you know. Tom practices Scientology. And they became close friends, and this person I know just really questions the relationship, and it's always been a mystery to me because I've seen them around LA. They go to the same sushi bar I go to. They're always holding hands. She always looks great. He always looks happy. But this person I know swears that it's not what it appears to be. So that's another mystery.
You have John Travolta. You have Kirstie, how do you spell it?
Kirstie Alley.
Tom Cruise.
Ellen,
it's wild, but
Ann
I mean,
Archer.
hey, whatever, if it works for them, it doesn't.
And of course,
Okay.
Mimi Rogers, who
Mimi
was
Rogers.
married to Tom.
Okay, Mel Gibson, last time, we got to take a break.
Well, Mel Gibson was just doing he's done everything in his career. He did a song for Disney for the new movie, animated film, Pocahontas, sang it, presented to Disney. They said, Mel, it sucks. He's out of the movie.
In a word. And that's it. And Waterworks, his movie, is that his movie?
No, Waterworks is Kevin Costner's
Oh, that's
movie.
right. The other guy.
World.
The other handsome
What a
guy.
world.
Right.
Well, Waterworks. I'm crying now because I got the name wrong.
And how much is that budget?
$175 million.
$175 million. The gross national product of state
In
of
fact, he just backed out of a Barbara Walters spot because he was afraid.
I heard that.
Yeah, he's afraid to, basically, he thought he was going to get cornered. You know how Barbara's a very aggressive
She'll make him
journalist.
cry, yeah.
She'll make him, put him in a bad spot. So it's Michael Douglas and DeAndre.
He's a great
instead.
tabloid TV journalist, Barbara Walters.
We'll be right back on that note. I want to ask, you have years left. What do you want for yourself right now, John?
Well, I've got several scripts that I have that I want to produce myself.
And star in?
Yeah. But I don't want to just do that part anymore. I don't want to do any more B movies. I'm sick and tired of it. That's basically what's going on. You know,
Are
it
your
gets you
retainers
down.
enough to live on for a while? I mean, your residuals?
Oh, hell, I can go hammer nails. You know, I can work. I grew up working. I can go fishing.
Well, good luck to you, man. And thank you for coming on my show. AJ had one quick question for Candace. Go ahead, Right.
I just have to know what I'm not doing right. Why does Tommy Lee land these women like this at will? What, is he the best? Can you just tell me if he's the best lover in the world? Like, what is he like in bed?
Thank you.
Oh, you know what? But you know.
We're like,
What does he do?
holding your breath.
I have to know what he does. I can't talk to Pam or Heather, but what does he do? I'll do it.
See you next time, folks. Bye-bye.